There's an underlying problem that's going around that seems to be ignored. And this problem is an addiction that goes under the radar. You might say, what is this addiction that seems to be ignored by mainstream? We talk about alcohol addiction. We talk about drug addiction. We talk about a lot of addictions, but we never talk about tattoo addiction. That's right, tattoo addiction, and why it's becoming a problem. Tattoos have been around a long time, but tattoos were used to express culture. It was used to express your rite of passage. Tattoos in the past were part of the culture. They weren't an expression of a fad. They weren't used to be fashionable. They weren't trend-based. They were a part of the culture, the rite of passage, whether that was to mummify beings and their skin back in the past, where the ink helped preserve the skin, or was it used for warriors as a test of pain to see what they can go through as a rite of passage to a manhood. Today's tattooing is fashionable, and there is where the problem lies. Tattoos now are fashionable, fad-based, and they're used now to cover a bunch of mental issues. I'm going to go over why tattooing has now become an epidemic of an addiction and how to overcome the addiction of tattooing. Tattoos became popular in the United States in the 1970s because, of course, the media, people saw the stars, they saw the models start wearing tattoos, and then it took off from there. But as I said before, when something starts to become fad-based and it's not based on the culture's original makeup, that's when it could start trending. But trending doesn't mean good. Now we're going to go to a darker side of tattooing. To understand why tattoos are addictive, we have to understand the reasonings behind tattooing in the first place. Tattooings could bring attention. They can create a conversational piece. They can become a mural for the body, a way to express all your thoughts and put them on your skin so people can see them. Your thoughts now become outward expressions. Basically, your body becomes a billboard. The billboard is that they're built in places so that the most eyes can see them. They bring attention to a place, a business, or an object. Billboard is an advertisement, so it's made to get attention. And this is where the underlying psychology for those who get tattoos becomes addictive. For those who have low self-esteem or believe that they're valueless or believe that they are starving for attention, to get this shallow attention or a quick fix of someone complimenting you about your tattoos as a remedy for that low self-esteem. And this is where the addictive part comes in. People with low self-esteem get tattoos because they can start to bring attention to oneself. Even though that attention can be shallow, even though it could be surface-based, it's still attention. But the thing about what attention is, just like what stars fall into, the trap, it leads to cravings because it's not permanent. It's not real. A person with tattoos who wants attention needs more of it. First, they'll get a butterfly, maybe on the ankle. Maybe they'll get some sort of tattoo along the back. But somebody might look at the hand and say, oh, look at that tattoo. Isn't it cute? Talk about the tattoo. The person who has a tattoo may feel a quick rush of attention. But that tension then dwindles. They need more of it. So then a tattoo is increased. More tattoos. More tattoos. And more tattoos it leads to. Now you have your whole back covered. But people don't see your back. So you have to wear clothes now that exposes your back. Exposes your arm sleeves that you can show all your tattoos on. It has been psychologically reported that those who self-hurt or have issues of low self-esteem use this technique of tattooing to grab attention. But once the body is covered in tattoos, the adrenaline ends. There's no more attention that you can get other than people looking at the tattoos. But when tattoos become so intertwined, so much that people can't see the individual tattoos anymore, it becomes part of the skin itself. And then people spiral into depression. Tattoo addiction for attention is one of the main reasons why tattooing has become an addiction. People use it not to express themselves anymore, but to grab people's attention so that they feel validated, even though it's artificial. Tattoos addiction is because those who have low self-esteem use it as a crutch to grab attention. The sad truth to the darker side of tattoo addiction, with every addiction, is that it is something that needs to be fed more. The high that you got from the first experience is never satiated by the next one. It's always looking, always chasing for the next dopamine, the next high. It's always looking for the next thrill. And when that search is not satisfied, more risk is taken. For example, a tattoo may start with a little butterfly, but if the mental stability of the person getting tattooed is off, if the attitude is selfish, look at me, who cares? I do what I want. No one tells me what to do. When the attitude is wrong, the mental stability is wrong, nothing stops the person from taking more and more risk. To the point now that tattoos, started out as a little butterfly. It goes to the back. It's not satiated. It goes to the arms. It's not satiated. It goes to the legs. It's not satiated. It starts tattooing on the face. It's not satiated yet. So, more risk. And that risk now is tattooing the eyes. Yes. Putting needles, injecting ink into the eyes to change the color to black, purple, or whatever. The risks are incredibly high, but people need to chase that dopamine, that hit, that high. I suggest people watch this video I'm going to tag down below. It's made by a popular YouTuber called Short Stories, and the name of the story is Just Want It to Be Cool. I suggest anybody look at that. Watch the attitude of this particular animation. It's enjoyable to watch, but the attitude behind the tattoos is what sets people up for tattoo addiction. Another addictive part of tattooing is the empowerment it gives someone. Someone who wants a tattoo may feel that getting one will strengthen them or empower them in some way. This is addictive because there is a truth to that in a short term. You may feel like you accomplished something after you get it. You may feel like it marked you in some way that you can say, look what I have done. But everyone who knows anything about how the human mind works is that outside stimulation never is long-term. There is nothing outside that can empower a person more than the internal strength of someone's mind. It is long-term and it is permanent, and it cannot be removed or changed through outside interference. A person who is sure of themselves, confident in themselves, assertive in themselves, and is mentally stable within their realm is a powerful person. But a person that uses a tattoo to find themselves or to empower themselves is setting themselves up for the addictive part of tattooing. Because tattoos, again, are outside stimulation. It needs to be fed more. You may get one tattoo and feel like you're empowered, but it soon fades away because it is not real. Soon the tattoo again needs to grow to another one and another one to feel more empowered. It may express itself through different meanings. Look what I've done. This tattoo means this, or this tattoo means that. Soon the whole body is covered in works of art, not because of anything substantial, because someone is seeking empowerment. Again, this affects people who feel like they're insignificant, or that they're weak, or that they cannot accomplish anything outside this world because they're powerless. So they use tattoos to feel empowered. But that is not true. Most substance abusers or any sort of person who's an addict has that same mistaken belief. A person who uses cigarettes say, I use the cigarettes because it keeps me less stressed and it keeps me skinny. Other substance abusers say, it helps me concentrate, I can accomplish my goal and multitask. It helps me sleep. Whatever the excuse to keep the addiction going is something always to do with feeling empowered by the substance abuse. Nothing from the outside has a permanent effect on empowering a person truly in a meaningful way through outside stimulation. That goes for all substance abuse, and tattoos are included in that when it's an addictive way of feeling artificially empowered. Marking your body up because it makes you feel stronger does not mean in reality that your strength is real. Now we're going to talk about the mental part of it a little bit more. This is the last part. And it's going to get dark because we're talking about an addiction here. And in order for light to shine through on addiction, we have to talk about it. And this part is going to delve partly on those who self-hurt. Those who don't know what self-hurt means, those are people who have mental pain, and they express their mental pain through hurting themselves, either by cutting themselves. That pain could be puncturing themselves with needles or burning themselves with cigarettes. In other words, they express their pain mentally by any means necessary to cause their body pain physically. And this particular mental issue affects one gender more than the other. It hurts women a lot because they self-hurt far more than men. And the reason why I'm going to talk about this is because tattooing comes with pain. And you might find this unbelievable, but those who know understand. Pain can be an addiction to those who like self-hurting, like cutting or burning themselves with cigarettes. Tattooing comes with pain, and in that pain becomes pleasure, an addictive chemical reaction. At first, tattooing could become maybe a fad or an expression, but those who love to self-hurt use it as a way to mark their bodies, not only through the expressions of art, but the enjoyment of pain. The pain itself of the needle puncturing the skin, self-hurting, because that's what tattooing is. No matter what, it is self-inflicted pain. Some people may not like it, but there are a lot of people who love it. The pain that gives them pleasure. And that's another part of addiction. And this is what makes tattoos so insidious. First, you got the addiction of people looking and admiring your art. Then you got the addiction of you expressing yourself. Then you have the addiction of the pain. All of these culminate into a real problem later on. So, the last one is pain. Those who love the self-hurt. And this has been a growing problem because tattooing and depression are in the same boat. In the United States, depression has skyrocketed because of the situations that we're in, because of the problems that we're facing. Tattooing has become a way to deal with problems. In the United States, antidepressant medicine has skyrocketed. Some of the most in the world is taken in the United States. Those who have low self-esteem use tattoos again to express themselves or to go through the pain to feel alive. The way to overcome this addiction is how I'm going to conclude this, is by looking in the mirror. Finding out if tattooing is going to be right for you. Are you going in there for the right reasons? Is it really what you want? Make a list of pros and cons of getting tattoos. Are you facing issues as through childhood that you haven't resolved? Are you facing problems, anger? Are you seeing things that are bothering you, and the way to express it is through tattooing? Is it part of being in a group? Is the group positive or is it negative? You have to ask yourself over and over again before you get this permanent ink on your body. Is it worth it? Do I need it? What is it expressing about me? What am I telling myself? Am I going to say tattooing is wrong? I cannot say that. It's not in my place. But I can tell that there is a problem with tattooing addiction. And that problem must be addressed. And only people who can answer that is the people who are getting tattoos. And for those who face tattoo addiction and see this, this might be a help. And for those who are questioning whether to get a tattoo, this may help too. So, tattoos, the underlying addiction of it that has not been mainstreamly addressed is here. Now it's up to every individual to see if they want to get a permanent mark on their skin for a world that's always changing. Thank you.